What's up? It has been a long time, 1 month, somewhere around there. I have so much to tell you guys. Let's get right into it. Hurricane Beryl. So as you can see by the title, do I regret purchasing a condo in Jamaica? Just with all the recent activities that are going on so early with hurricanes, and you know, a cat 5, a cat 4 just in July. Like, are you kidding me? Like, normally you see things like this few and far between, and it's way later in the year. But for something so big to come so fast, and then you have to think about, you know, is it going to hit this island, you know, past this island? And the thought process that I had during all this, I just wanted to share it with you guys. I came down here with a plan in mind to finish things up, but boy was I taken by a lot, and I want to go into it right now. And I think this is definitely something you guys want to listen to if you live in Jamaica, or if you're thinking about, you know, purchasing from Jamaica. And it ties in a lot of my videos that I told you about like guesstimating money and what you're going to make and things like that. And I know a lot of you will probably think, why would you go to Jamaica and there was a hurricane coming? But when I left home, my place was completely booked, and they were kind of saying it was going to be like a tropical storm, maybe a cat 1, you know, and it wasn't even going to be anything major. Airlines were still flying, the plane was packed, the bus was packed. When I got here, my guest that was going to check in the next couple of days, she was just like, you know, actually she was checking in the next day, which was Tuesday. The hurricane came Wednesday. She told me, she was like, you know, they've changed the category from a 1 to a 3. And I'm on the shuttle like, what? And she's like, yeah, it went from a 1 to a 3, just like while I was on the plane. And so she was like, I'm thinking I probably won't come. So the guest wanted to know what her options would be. Now, in a situation like this, I did offer her a full refund, no questions asked, because, you know, I definitely understood the situation, and I don't know what other people do, but that's just what I did in this situation. So she ended up canceling. I come in, this is Monday, and when I wake up, you know, Tuesday, they're like, oh, it's going to be a category like 3 for sure. I see people like taping up their windows, and I didn't know why, because I'm from Chicago. We don't have hurricanes, but they were putting like X's in the windows and on the doors. And when I saw the building doing, I saw people like getting sandbags. I saw people like boarding up their houses. I'm gonna try to take the time to, you know, do some stuff to my house as well. The stores were like going crazy. Like, like people were taking the food and just everything.
Oh, I'm going to miss the fire. Come on. I'm curious.
Giant bread boat.
Yes.
Eh?
Just get a bread. So I just go out, I start just doing what I saw other people doing. And mind you, I have 2 properties, and I'm down here by myself. And you can't really expect like any of your help staff to come help you, because they're helping themselves, you know. I was definitely overwhelmed just with a lot of thoughts, you know, that I was thinking. I went ahead, I taped up the windows, and I was actually here because, you know, we're working on this place. But then I started to get scared because my properties are right off the beach. One of my properties, it's not on the ground floor, but it's on the lower floor, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what a category 3 hurricane would be like. So I'm like, well, since the girl had canceled over there, I made the decision that I was going to move to the other house. So that's pretty much what I did. This house was just a complete disaster because, you know, you guys in the last video saw everything so neat, couch set up, everything. I now had to move everything away from the windows, cover everything up. I know the house looks totally different. It looks like we're still working on the house because remember I had to move the couch, cover everything up. I kind of covered up the television as well. It was like all the progress that I've made with unpacking stuff, I had to now repack things because again, I don't know what to expect, and now we're just at a category 3. The one thing I did know is that we were gonna most likely lose electricity. So I went to the store and I bought like non-perishable items like what do you call these things, like Vienna sausages, which I don't eat, but I bought them anyway. I bought crackers, I bought bread and peanut butter, and I got a lot of like these drinks called Glucerna. I just bought these things and I was kind of looking at what other people were buying, and that's just what I did. So I come back and, you know, I'm kind of like preparing, taped up the windows. I go to sleep Tuesday and, you know, I just wake up, I'm like, you know, and I get a phone call. My phone is like ringing off the hook. I get a call from Donald and he's like, hey, you know, they just upgraded this to a category 5. You need to get up. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what a category 5 hurricane is. I know it's bad, but I don't really know. So I'm like scrolling and looking on like the television. I'm like, oh crap. And they're like, you know, it's going to come at a certain time, and you know what you should do. So mind you, it's a gorgeous day in Jamaica at this point. It's still sunny. You know, I see people pulling the boats out the ocean, like trying to put them out on the sand, and fishermen are starting to put their boats on the sand. So now at this point, I'm scared. I'm thinking about the windows, and I'm thinking about insurance. I'm thinking about my investment. I'm thinking about leaks or the ocean just coming up and wiping these buildings out. All these things are in my mind because I've never experienced anything like this. And you know, people are kind of just doing their own things in preparation. So I do what I can, I do what I know, and then I just go over to my other house and I kind of just wait. So the morning comes and I'm like, oh God, we're not gonna have electricity. So I like make some pasta because I'm like, this will probably be the last hot meal I get for a while. I made pasta, I got the air on, I got all the ACs running because I want to keep the house as cool as I can keep it, because as you know, it's hot as hell in Jamaica. I went and bought these little rechargeable fans. I bought those. I made sure all of those was charged up, and you know I have my lamp. Guys, when I say this thing is amazing, I keep just showing you this thing. Look, this is my power bank that I got from Amazon that keeps my phone charged, and you see it's charged. But look, I plugged this into my little light. Now I'm charging my power bank from my phone. This can charge iPads, computers, everything. So thank God for this. Thank God for this. You just need to make sure that you have enough batteries to, you know, keep this going, which you can buy the batteries. But this is like a one-stop shop. It is in my Amazon storefront. I am so happy I had this. First of all, it's a light. It lights up a whole room. You can charge your cell phone from it, and you can also carry it. So like if you have to go down a staircase or something like that, you actually have light. You 100% should have these in your house. It was so helpful for me. You need to have this for your guests. And you know, that candle burning, I saw people buying candles. I'm like, no, nobody has time for this. I need some light, some dependable light, and that's exactly what I had. Now, in our buildings, we do have generators, but it doesn't power the inside of the apartments. The only thing that it does is power the hallways and the elevators. That's pretty much it. But we have outlets in the hallways, so people were kind of like plugging stuff up in the hallways and running extension cords into their homes. That's what they were doing. Let's get back to the hurricane. So I make the pasta, I make sure everything gets charged. It starts to rain. You know, the internet is getting a little shaky. The lights are starting to flicker on and off. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I'm looking out at the ocean, and I see that it's getting, you know, the tide is coming in, or whatever you want to say, the winds are coming in. They're now starting to go up on the road or the expressway or whatever they call it. And I'm like, man, this is really getting serious. But thankfully, the bulk of the wind was not coming in like from the ocean. It was actually coming in from the opposite way, which was good for my new project because the wind wasn't hitting me head on. But my one bedroom, the wind was hitting us head on, right? So it starts to get windy. I am seriously like scared, you guys, to even go up. And I'm just praying, like, I'm like, oh, I hope that, you know, now I'm thinking about the doors, the windows, the everything. And here comes the heavy rain. And when I say heavy rain, it's raining like, I can't even see. Visibility is zero. The palm trees are swaying. My door just sounded like, I swear to God, this door sounded like it was just gonna fly off. And I was so scared because I was like, shit, you know, like, is this door gonna hold up? That's the only thing I kept thinking. I was not getting wind coming from the windows in the bedroom or the living room on the side. It was everything, like my balcony door, which was getting the most, it was getting all of the wind head on, right? And so I would go in the bedroom because it kind of like put me at like a better peace of mind because it was more quiet in there. But when you come back in the living room, it just sounded like a monster was at the balcony door. Things are just flying. I brought all the furniture inside because that stuff would have just flew off the balcony. And then the lights went out and it started to get dark. Fortunately, this did happen in the daytime, so we still had the daylight. I noticed that water started to come like around my balcony door. So I had a towel there and I was like soaking the water up and then, you know, wringing it out. And this water, shit. I'm gonna have to wring this towel out. That's why you always gotta, I keep work towels. Look at me trying to tell you guys how to run an Airbnb. Oh my God. It's just soaked. I feel like I just want to get away from this door. Shit. It's scary. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is scary. And it's like no wind this way. You see how like everything is just passing by? Okay. I wish I had my tripod with me, guys. I would let you watch me do that, but I can't. So, okay, bye. That is definitely something I'm going to have to address. And I am very fortunate that I was there, you know, to be there at my property to check on it. But other than that, well, the screen flew off. Like, and I had to break in the balcony furniture. Now this side of my house is a totally different story. Look at this. The screen, oh my God. The screen is like broken. I'm gonna try to fix it right now because I'm getting the wind from this side. But I definitely will keep you guys posted. I definitely want to try to fix this screen before it like blows off and the wind kind of calm down right now. See that like in my video, but I was there to like kind of reinforce it, and I was able to fix it before the actual real hard wind started to come. Look guys, I fixed it. If you have screens, make sure you get this tool. It's a handy little tool. I'll find out what it's called, and I fixed the screen. I don't know if it'll last throughout, but at least I fixed it. I honestly thought the screen and everything was just gonna fly off because that's just how heavy the wind was. And this went on, I want to say from like 2 to like pretty much 7 o'clock at night. This was just an ongoing thing. It would get really windy, then stop, then really windy, and then stop. Now we did not get a direct hit, and I was very happy about that. And then the silence, the rain, the heat, the darkness, and that went on for about 5 days. It was unbearable to sleep. And then opening your windows were just not an option for a lot of people because people didn't have screens. The mosquitoes were out of control. Now luckily I have screens on all my windows and doors, and I do implore people that if you do have balconies, just get screens put on. You know, get a screen door put on, and also on your windows. At night there was no wind blowing, and when I say it was hot, I cannot explain to you. People couldn't even sleep. Like, everybody started to go over to Island Village because Starbucks was really the only people that had like internet, so everybody was over there. On my way to Margaritaville. I'm so thirsty and I'm so hot, just looking for anybody that has some AC and some ice. I don't care what it is. Everybody seems to be making their way over here. And of course, the tourist areas like the grocery stores, the major restaurants, and Margaritaville, they all had generators, and of course the major hotels had generators where you could go and still hear music and get like a hot meal. So these places were packed. Everybody was over there. There was nowhere to go, and I was just going over there, just standing like even in the grocery store just to get like just cool. It was unbearably hot to even stay in the house, and then it was hot outside, and I was so miserable. But I thank God that I only had to endure this for 5 days. But unfortunately, we have so many people that even now still don't have electricity here in Jamaica, and it's been a couple of weeks since that happened. Farmers that have lost everything, people that have lost their homes. Let's talk about your investment here. Now, where I have my investment, it's a concrete building, so it's very, it's a sturdy building. But you think about people that have like maybe cottages and places that are made of wood, and depending on where these places are, like the roofs or just the whole structure itself, it just made me think about a lot of things that I hadn't thought about before this even happened. So if you are a person that has invested in something like that, or you are thinking about investing in that, just make sure that you have like, a really, really good, strong roof. Hurricanes are a reality. We don't know when they're coming, and then they can just, we can get none a year, we can get 8 a year. We don't know. You just need to be prepared. Another thing to think about is, if you're in a condo or a community, obviously when you buy the place, the building has to show proof of insurance to replace the structure back. And that's all you can really do. And a separate insurance, I guess maybe insuring the contents, because I was just thinking like everything that I'm doing to this house, all the money that I poured into this particular house, they wouldn't be trying to give that back to me unless I had a separate insurance. These are all things that came to my mind. That part didn't just come to my mind. I always think about that, like when hurricane season starts to come, and there are ways to protect your property, and you just need to make sure that you have all these things in place. And what I see from a lot of people, structures that are not, built right, a lot of people lost their roofs, and if you lose that, you end up just pretty much your whole house is just flooded out and all your furniture is messed up. A lot of people were fleeing from different places to even come here in the buildings where I am, even though we didn't have electricity. It was just really devastating for a lot of people, and my heart goes out to people here, because I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I want to go home, and I wanted to go home just because I couldn't endure the heat. It was too much. Like, there was just no reprieve, nowhere that you could go. But it taught me a lot. It made me think about a lot, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, just to let you know, like, you want to make sure all those things are in place. And when you are buying things that are not made of concrete or cement, I don't know, I think it's concrete, right? When you are buying things like this, make sure that the structure is sound and you get it checked out, and you really, really look at that roof, to make sure. Now, something else that got really popular here really, really fast, there's a guy that I know here, he does solar panels. And he told me he is so busy because with the way these poles are going down and the little flicker of wind, now you don't have any electricity. What I'm thinking is that if you have solar panels, I guess you'll still have electricity if they don't get damaged. I don't really know a lot about solar panels, but I know a lot of people that are going to get solar panels now just because of this situation where people don't have electricity. A lot of people bought generators. All the generators like pretty much sold out. A lot of people's food spoiled because there were a lot of guests here that didn't know. They went to the store and they bought things to cook, not thinking that the electricity was going to go out. They were just ill prepared for what was to come. You want to make sure that you have certain things in place for your guests, especially if you're not going to be around and people do get stuck at your condo. Let's talk about the Airbnb aspect of it. Even though I did not have any guests in my house, I was fully booked for the month of July. I had 2 guests canceled, so that knocked out like 3 weeks of bookings that I had. So this is the uncertainty that I was telling you. You could do everything right, so you cannot put yourself in a position when you buy a house that you don't have enough money, that if something like this were to occur, you have a resource that you can still pay your mortgage. Because even though there was a hurricane, I still got to pay the mortgage, I still got to pay the assessments, I still got to pay the cable, just things that I actually paid for the guests. And that was 2 cancellations. That was a huge chunk of money for me for the month of July. I'm very grateful that, you know, August just filled up very nicely, and my place over there will be able to take care of the bills over there and also the bills here. So I am very, very grateful for that, but none of that is ever guaranteed to you when you do this business. So you have to be, you know, smart in the sense that you don't put yourself in a situation that you can't handle if emergency comes up. So as long as you plan, you know, I'm not discouraging you ever to do what you want to do, to be an Airbnb or to buy property in Jamaica or anywhere else. I'm just telling you to be prepared. And I just wanted to tell you, you know, what happened to me with my cancellations. Now, did I have to give the people's money back? No, I didn't. But I did, because in my mind, it was the right thing to do. I do know a lot of Airbnb people, guests that were here, and I was able to speak to some of them, and I'm gonna just tell you some of the complaints they had, just to let you know as a possible host. I met one lady, she was complaining that the owner didn't have emergency lights in place for her. Like, for instance, that light that I was telling you, or she couldn't charge her phone, that light that I was telling you about. She could have charged her phone, she would have had light there. I had guests that were complaining, you know, obviously about the heat. Why don't they have screens on the window? Why don't they have screens on the door? I can't even open things, you know, because the mosquitoes are coming in, or I'm scared some bug is going to come in. I'm scared a bird is going to fly in. So people were complaining about that. And then you have the guests that I feel, some of them I feel were a little insensitive, because they, you know, the owners may not be here, but you expect the owner to just do everything for you, and all they can do is tell you about what's going on, you know, when the airports are going to open back up, and supply you with certain things that you may need in a situation like this. So that's why I said, as an owner, you want to have certain things in place for your guests if a situation does happen like this, and you do have guests in your house, because they will, if they can't communicate with you, they will be calling you, because more than likely they're going to be miserable, or they want to go home, or they're you know, upset about something and they want you to fix it. But it's only so much that you can do. And what I was telling one guest that I just saw outside, I told her, like, it's not just her that's going through this, you know, because unfortunately in one of the buildings all the electricity went out and the generator wasn't working, which meant that she had to walk up all these stairs to get to the apartment. So she was upset about that, and she was just upset about a lot of things, but she actually had the chance to go home. So that's why you want to let them know when the airports open up, and you want to just kind of, you know, send them information that you may get from the news channel, or just like the Jamaican government, that you can actually forward to your guests and keep them informed, and have just certain things in place for them. Like me, who had never been through a hurricane, you want to tell them, like, hey, if a hurricane is coming, you need to go to the store, make sure that you have water, make sure that you fill buckets up. And you want to do that because some people lose water as well. So I had heard that at one time the water wasn't even working. So you want to have buckets of water filled up, not so much for drinking, but maybe you needed to, you know, flush the toilet, or you needed to like wash off. I bought a lot of baby wipes as well, you know, just for myself, because I didn't know what to expect. You want to tell them to get non-perishable foods. Maybe they don't know, because a lot of people just went and bought food thinking they can cook, and there was no electricity. And I know, like, here at this structure, we are not allowed to have gas stoves here. Maybe you can make a little video, because I'm thinking I'm probably going to do that, to put that on my YouTube channel. So instead of me like trying to, I'll just forward them the video, like, this is something, these are the things that you need to do to be prepared. And they'll just see you as a host that's really trying to help them, so they know exactly what to do. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to tell you guys about my experience. Do I regret buying a house in Jamaica? No, I don't. I'm very happy here. I even felt like I want to do this again. Like, and I always keep saying, when I bought my first house, I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm tired. This is too much. And then I found this house, and now I'm like looking like, because I just saw somebody, you know, those good deals that I told you about in my previous video. Just heard that somebody snagged up a one-bedroom for half the price of what they're going for in the market. How lucky are they? Kind of sort of like me. The deals are there. You got to be in the loop. You got to have connections. You got to come down here, immerse yourself, and talk to people. These deals are here, and I can't even believe it. That's pretty phenomenal. And this is just a recent deal that just closed, but it wasn't on the market. This was, you know, owner to seller, that type of thing. So it happens. So don't be discouraged, you know, by what you may see on the internet. Don't be discouraged that you feel everything is gone. I was just telling somebody, you only fail when you don't try. So you can try, but make sure that it works for you. Make sure that this is a deal that works for you, your budget, and your peace of mind, because you don't want to get something that just constantly be stressed out. But I still have a lot of other things to do too, because this hurricane has taught me a lot. I want to incorporate more into my preparedness for hurricanes. And I am very happy with my property. We are still working because I got backtracked with just, you know, the week, and then I had to come back and reopen up everything. But I did do some things. I'm very excited, but we still have some more things to do. And we will be opening up soon. I really like the house. All right, you guys, take care. So I will talk to you later. Please be blessed and please stay encouraged. Don't let anything distract you from what you want to do. Don't be distracted. Stay focused and put yourself in a position to be around people that want to make moves happen. You don't have time for nothing else, okay? Nothing else. Make it happen, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.